Okay, I shouldn't be muted now. I don't know what was going on there. What up, Garbo? What up, Kakia? Kakia? Incarnation? Is that how you pronounce that? Kakia? Not 100% sure.
Why's Garbo putting little emotes of me in there?
Who knows? All right, so the mute does not work. I'm gonna have to manually mute it, but it's okay. We're here. We're gonna be talking about Marvel Rivals. Garbo, you can get in the Discord. Kakia.
I mean,
okay, Kakia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, Garbo.
Incarnation.
Yeah. But I'm also Giggles. Just changed my stuff. So can I still call you Gigs? Garbo, no blah blah. Are you still at work? What's happening? I thought the profile picture looked familiar, but I wasn't 100% certain. I didn't want to assume, because you know what assuming does. It just makes an ass out of everybody, right? Yeah, whatever is easier.
Gigs is it.
What if I just call you Key? Or is that too on the money?
Call him Peel instead.
All right, I got to edit my stream info real quick for Twitch, and then we're gonna get into it. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. If Garbo was here, he could get involved in the conversation, but unfortunately, it's
Wish he
Gigs.
was here.
I know. It's fine. He's doing Garbo stuff, I guess. All right, let me change this to that. Done. All right, we're live on Twitch if anybody's interested in watching over there. But we're live. Gigs, Giggles, Super. I'm going to have to leave that. Kia. Incarnation. What up, Garbo? Garbo's here, finally. Thank God. All right. So, we're going to start off with the Marvel Rivals Dev Vision Volume 1, which is like their roadmap that they released. I'm going to play it. I'm going to pause it. I've just been in and out of my mental a bit too much. How have you been, Garbo? How have you been, Garbo? Gigs is asking how you been.
I mean,
I got one of the
I
options.
feel like I've been busy.
Yeah, you have. I got one of the options is Incarnation. I want to call him Carne Asada.
Incarni Asada? That might be the name.
Carne Asada.
Yeah, Garbo's been working like a madman here lately, just like me.
Yeah, I haven't had time to stream. I have to like force myself to stream, which I actually was thinking about streaming, but I totally forgot about that you were streaming today.
And I said
I
said something to him about it
did,
last night and today at work. I was like,
You
Garbo,
did.
I'm gonna be streaming tonight, so if you get through on time, you know.
Dude, you got done at 4. And how the fuck? How many stops did you make?
61.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
but
bumped into him at the vape shop at like 4:30.
God damn, I'm jealous. Dude, I had 112 stops.
I mean, I'm half Hispanic, so Incarni Asada makes sense.
Love it.
How many stops did you have, Garbo?
112.
Jesus. Yeah, well, a lot of your stuff's close together, right?
Griffin told me you had a lot
Yeah.
of packages.
Dude, I had 147.
God.
Yeah, dude, but like I got a good little system now. Like instead of like stacking them on top of each other, I just stand them up in rows like dominoes, and I just
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fill it up that way. So that way, I just open up my shit, grab my package, close the door, and it's like it's just
Yeah.
like in and out. Like I'm not in there searching. It doesn't go flying 30 different directions as I'm driving. Like
Yeah.
it was the smoothest ride I had today, even though it took me. I didn't leave until like 6:25.
That ain't too bad, considering how much you had.
And I had to drive all the way out to Rainsville to even start my run.
Yeah. Well, so I started mine at the bottom of the mountain, and then I have to go up the mountain. And between stops, it's like 4 miles between each one. So basically, you know, my 61 stops was like almost 4 miles between each one, other than like 10 of them. So, have you played Phasmophobia at all? No, I have not. I've seen people play it before, but I've never played it before.
Again, I hate that manifest too. Like, it's not completely accurate. Like, at one point, my run started like near 50 taters, pretty much, and then it wanted me to drive all the way to Shiloh to do one stop to Shiloh, and then drive all the way back over to fucking 50 taters and do a little bit over there. And I was like, I ain't fucking doing this. I'm gonna throw this package over here. And I was like, right before I get on main Shiloh Ranch Road, I'll go out and do that motherfucking thing. And it was probably the most best lined up time that I could have done it, because any other time,
I do the same thing. I just prioritize.
I hate it though sometimes, because I'm just like, bro, why the fuck's it got me going all the way out here?
Dude, it's got me going up and down the mountain like 3 or 4 times,
and it don't make sense.
No.
It's like, why are you doing this? Just let me do it up here. I'm already up here.
You think Rivals will kill Overwatch? I don't think it will kill Overwatch, because I think that Overwatch has a large built-in fan base. But you see the developers at Overwatch panicking, because in the last week or two, they released Overwatch Classic, right? Which was like the way the heroes were before Overwatch 2 came out. And I think all the new characters that have released since Overwatch 2 came out are not playable. And they're going to reintroduce 6v6 queue. So they definitely notice the impact that Marvel Rivals is going to have on the hero shooter world. I mean, if we look at the big hero shooters, and we're going to not count MOBAs in this, you've got Overwatch, you've got Paladins, you've got Marvel Rivals. Technically, Rainbow Six Siege is a hero shooter, but I kind of put it in a category on its own.
Yeah, it's not. It's more like Valorant, honestly.
Yeah, it's more of a tactical. I think they consider it a hero shooter because the characters have unique abilities and things like that.
Which is kind of understandable, but it's definitely a tactical shooter.
Yeah. But I think that this is going to kill Paladins, and I think that people that are sick of Overwatch will come to Marvel Rivals, but are they going to stick around? That's the question, because they're so ingrained into Overwatch's DNA at this point that they may not think that it's beneficial to do a hard pivot. But personally, 6v6 will help a lot, but Rivals is modern and seems super competitive, and that's basically what people want. Again, my opinion, R6 has and still is going downhill very fast. Well, they're doing a test right now on their test servers of adding crossplay to the game. Mouse and key versus control.
They're doing big changes to characters too, like Blackbeard's getting completely redone. He's going to be a shield character now. They can carry a primary with a shield instead of having a shield that he puts on top of his rifle.
I'm freaking pumped! I'm gonna drink a green tea all goddamn
Go look
day.
at the playtest when you get a chance to. It's a neat concept, and I think it's going to make Blackbeard be played a lot more.
You gonna bring the demons out of me?
Kyle G. Master has become a member.
But the crossplay is huge.
Thank you for becoming a super supporter, Kyle G. Master. Thank you.
From what I saw on the test server right now, PC players can invite their console friends into their party and play together.
That makes sense.
And I think they're going to do matchmaking by input method.
That makes sense too.
Which I love that idea that I can play with someone on PC who is playing controller.
Yeah. But the new toxic chat system is going to ruin R6. It's turning into Codfest. What toxic chat, like mics, type, both?
I think
probably
type.
the fact of party chats, or the fact that you can just be free chat talking to people and stuff. I don't know if R6 has introduced that.
Wait, Gig said if you say mean words and text mean words, you'll get a 20 match chat voice mute. Jesus Christ. That's wild.
I'm actually kind of okay with that, because I think on R6 I've been called the N-word more than I've ever been called it on Call of Duty.
Right.
Legitimately. And, I played old school Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll never forget old COD chat.
Woo,
Kyle. We're going to talk about the roadmap and the new skins that they have announced and the walkthrough of Wakanda. And there's an interview that I'm going to go over. And we're going to actually start it off first. 10 steps in the wrong way because R6 is known for its toxic players. I mean, what would be great is if if they could use active AI to monitor the chat and do a beep. That would be hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like if AI could use predictive measures to know when someone's going to say something offensive, then they can just beep it. Yeah, and it would be funny. You know what I'm saying?
It would be funny.
I mean, they do that with text chat a lot. If you put something in text chat that is offensive to people, then it stars it out. So why not use AI in a proactive way to do the same thing with voice chat? Which, let's be honest though, like 9 times out of 10, you're going to be playing Rainbow Six in Discord, right?
Yeah.
So, but you know, just add a censor option for the text chat. We can already mute players, so why not add censor? Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, Moon Knight is getting added. I talked about that on last Sunday, and let me pull up the Marvel Rivals thing, and I'll show you kind of like what there's some gameplay out there on YouTube. Yeah, right. So this is what Moon Knight's going to look like in game. This is the still image that they released. This is the Mr. Knight skin, which I'm super excited for this. It looks absolutely incredible. This is the splash page for Moon Knight. I'm just going to mute that. So I'm assuming this is the animation that's going to play whenever you get play the best play or whatever.
That's clean.
Yeah, right. And then, like I said, there's gameplay footage of Moon Knight. I think this has a little bit of it. Yeah. So Moon Knight's going to be a DPS character. Well, no, that's just the active melee that everybody has.
Yeah,
he throws like little,
Yeah.
He's got a lot of abilities.
This is his ult right here. Khonshu.
The ult is dope as fuck.
So
it looks like it does a lot of damage.
Yeah, and you get it back very fast. Yeah.
What we figured out in the last one, it was like less than 20 seconds before he had it back again.
Yeah. The way that his abilities work is his primary fire is crescent darts. So whenever you hit a target, it bounces to the nearest target and bounces back. He throws 3 of them at a time. His alt fire is a sword that he gets out that he swings, and it does the same thing, but it does a little bit more damage. He has a grappling hook. He has the ability to double jump, and he throws out these onks, and the onks will bounce enemies up and pull it closer to the center, kind of like a small CC thing, but the crescent darts bounce off of that. So if you're hitting a character that's by themselves and you have an onk beside them, it will bounce from the character to the onk and back to the character. You can also use it to ricochet around walls and stuff like that. So he's going to be he's a very low mobility, high area DPS character. He's almost like an AoE DPS, but has the ability to pop off against single targets if he needs to. So from an Overwatch 1 player to Overwatch 2, I'm going to officially stop playing Overwatch once Rivals is out. I get that. I understand. Aren't all characters free? Yes, they are. They are all absolutely free. So we're going to watch this Dev Vision Volume 1. Like I said, I'm going to pause this as we go. I've got a little sheet pulled up, and we're just going to add stuff to it and talk about it as we go through it. So let me get you something to eat. Like throwing up? You need me to take you to the doctor? Okay. Love you. you need anything, text me. I love you. Marina's home, but she's sick. All right.
Just that morning sickness.
Yeah, I think it's
at 8:15.
I think it's certain things triggering their sickness, but all right, let's get into this. I'm gonna pause the music, and yeah, we're gonna get into it.
Dear rivals, Guang Guang here. Today, I'm happy to share with you all the latest news regarding the Marvel Rivals roadmap.
What? Gang?
My biggest thanks to the Marvel Rivals community for sticking with us and keeping the excitement alive. We are in the home stretch now. Since the closed beta test, we've been working around the clock to fine-tune the game for launch. Everything from perfecting our roster of heroes and villains to enhancing the stages, refining systems, and ironing out the last bugs. We're committed to making sure we deliver a game that's as epic as the Marvel Universe deserves. So bear with us just a bit longer. We're almost there, and the new content is shaping up to be something special. Now, for those who have been keeping tabs on Marvel Rivals, you've seen the 33-day countdown, starting with the big green guy himself, Hulk. Ages ago, Hulk was the first hero we built. His ability incredible leap, setting the tone for our quest to make it unique and make it crazy. As the countdown ticks down on our starting lineup of 33 heroes, the final hero to be revealed will be sure to excite, especially the team-up ability with the Hulk.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it there. So 33 heroes. All right, that's the first thing that we find out here. Currently, with all of the characters that have been announced, including Moon Knight and Psylocke, we have 27 characters. So that means that there's 6 unannounced heroes that are going to be announced and added into the game at launch between now, which is the 17th, and December the 6th, which is like a little over 2 weeks away. It was 3 weeks from this past Friday. So we're getting 6 new here, 6 new unannounced. And I misspelled unannounced. I know that, and that's fine. So that's the first thing, which is crazy. That's the game that copy Overwatch 2, right? Yeah, every hero shooter copies Overwatch, right? Lots going on these months. MK1, Ghostface, Rivals, Fortnite event, GTA, December DLC. Sounds about right. I understand. Not even hiding the fact he's reading the script. I think that English is the second language and he's trying really hard to enunciate everything.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. He's just trying to get the English right.
Yeah, there's probably no telling how many times that they filmed this just so it could be, properly enunciated. Is Black Widow in the game? So that's the thing. That's the second thing, right? So new team up ability with Hulk. Hulk already has a team up ability with Doctor Strange and Iron Man. And they said that the last hero that's announced will have a unique team up ability that people are going to like with Hulk. So I wonder, somebody brought this up the other night. It might have been Corey that said, well, what about Black Widow? That would be a great team up because of their chemistry that they had in the Marvel Cinematic Universe films. And that would be great. She would be a great flank. She could be a great support character as well. So that's very interesting. So 6 new unannounced heroes, new team up ability with Hulk. Let's keep going.
So stay tuned for the rest of this wild ride. Regarding our seasonal roadmap, come December 6th, players will get to jump right into Season 0, Doom's Rise. Over the course of this month-long kickoff season, we will release a total of 33 heroes, 8 maps for quick match and competitive.
So 8 maps. We got 8 maps that's going to be available at launch. Go ahead and add that to the sheet. Hulk and Thor have a few movies together. They might want to keep it, and this would make sense, where like tanks can't team up with other tanks, or which, all right, so Rocket has a team up ability that works with Punisher and Winter Soldier, which makes sense, but they're both DPS. So it seems like they are going to have the team, because I can't think of any team up abilities where the way that it works is you have the primary person that triggers the team up ability. So for example, we'll use Thor. All right, Thor. Well, there is two tanks because Thor and Captain America. But there's one primary person that allows two other characters to be able to team up with them, or one other character, depending on the situation. That person doesn't get the bonus, I don't think, if I remember correctly, that initiates it. But the two characters that are linked with them does get the bonus. So, like, for example, Hulk gives Doctor Strange and Iron Man a boost with his, gamma thing, right? Somebody else would have to be the primary person that gives Hulk the bonus whenever they team up with Hulk. And we'll talk a little bit more about the team up stuff because they announce a couple of things here in a minute. How many maps are in the game already? Like during the beta, maybe 6, but I don't know. I don't know how they categorize them, because you have the like King of the Hill game mode where it's 3 rounds on 3 different maps. Yeah, even though they're in the same world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got Tokyo 2099, Shin Shibuya. We've got Spider Islands. We got Ysgard, Path, and then we've got Royal Palace, which I'm pretty sure Royal Palace is the King of the Hill map. The Path is like the Conquest, push the payload. I think Spider Island is push the payload. And I think that Shin Shibuya, I think that was the Convergence game mode, which one team is assigned to help. No, that's an escort map too. So there was 3 of them, and then there was one King of the Hill map, which was the Royal Palace. Domination and Conquest game. Okay. So it's essentially boost, not like alt combos. No. So the way that it works is like, for Thor, whenever he's paired up with them, you get another ability added to your kit, and you can trigger that ability to do extra damage or to do something different. So like when Spider-Man teams up with Venom, or when Venom teams up with Spider-Man and Penny Parker, they can press a button and it triggers like a symbiote explosion around them that does like some AoE damage. Whenever Thor is paired up with Storm and Captain America, they trigger like a, Thor lightning that infuses their attacks. So it kind of affects them in different ways, but it's essentially an added ability on top of what they're doing. All right, so we're getting 8 maps. So we've got 4 right now, so they're going to double it. Yeah, temporary infusion, yes, but it goes on cooldown like your other abilities. So you're able to pop it at different moments. And for Rocket, his is when he uses his ult. I think it was whenever he uses ult, whenever Punisher and Winter Soldier are standing in the area of the ult, they have an increased fire rate, and they don't have to reload. They just have forever bullets. So until his ult ends.
A conquest map and a brand new practice range. Though I will keep the specifics about the newly added.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, you were talking earlier about tank comps for their build-ups and everything, but Venom and Penny both are tanks, and Venom triggers Penny.
Yeah, and same thing with Thor and Captain America.
Yeah, they're both tanks.
So I guess they're not putting a hard restriction on that, because if they introduce roll queue, then you can only have 2 of each role.
Yeah, it would make sense to make sure that you don't have too much of that. But with the Penny and Venom thing specifically, it's like a Spider Family thing.
Yeah.
I guarantee anyone from the Spider Family that gets introduced will probably have that with Venom.
But like originally Griffin said that like they're not trying to like cross them between, you know, like tanks with tanks, and
Yeah.
but even though Doctor Strange and Hulk are both tanks.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, you know, where I misspoke, because I was thinking it's like, well, they could use that as a way to balance it, but there's not a team up that I'm aware of that is, you know, a DPS triggers it and a tank and a support both have it. It's
Right.
like a tank, another tank, and a DPS, or a DPS, and a tank, you know, support, tank, you know, whatever. Like Magic's team up
It's
abilities.
never two DPSs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is two DPSs sometimes, because you got Magic, who is going to be partnering up with Psylocke.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're just mix mashing it. So, what's wrong with a full team of tanks? You do a lot of damage. Like the DPS in the game is super high. So, like compared to Overwatch and Paladins, the DPS is incredibly high. So the healing to combat that is super high. Everybody in the game, every support character they've added is essentially a heal bot. They have to be a heal bot.
I mean, tanks really don't kill anybody unless they just so happen to get the last bit of health from that one character that got DPS the fuck out of.
Yeah. Tank's damage output is relatively low. Support damage output is very low for the most part. There's a couple of exceptions with that, of course, with all of them. But for the most part, the tank DPS is lower than the actual DPS, and then the support DPS is the lowest out of all of them. So to counteract that, the DPS do tons of damage. Like Hela can 2-tap all of the squishy characters, and can 3-tap most tanks with headshots. Like that's how much damage they're putting out. Punisher with a shotgun can 2-tap almost every single character in the game. So they're what
even the rifle, like
the rifle is
do like
mean.
4 or 5. It's crazy.
I mean, it's kind of the role of a support role is to support, not to engage. That's why flanking DPS exists in this type of game, or hence dive.
Well, I mean, you can use Rocket as a flank DPS. Sure, there's not a category for it, but like there's still some flank characters. Like Loki himself has like some flank because he can go invisible. Rocket, for a support character, deals a lot of headshot multiplier. Like his head multiplier, I think, is like really up there. Because dude, if you're just hitting those headshots, he's strong.
They've done something a little bit different where there's a lot of tanks are dive tanks. So like in Overwatch, you had like Winston, who was like the primary dive tank. And you, Winston and, what was the dude with the hammer?
Oh, Reinhardt?
Yeah. Like they would be considered dive tanks, but like the majority of the Marvel Rivals tanks are dive tanks.
Yeah,
like they're disruptors.
Hulk for sure. Yeah. Venom for sure.
Thor.
Like the Thor.
Captain America.
Can he dive?
Yes, he can dive. He can shield charge. Like
I know he can shield charge. I didn't know he could dive.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Hulk can do his jump charge. I know Venom is 100% one. Penny don't really dive.
Yeah,
she just has that web.
Penny's more like the DPS tank character,
like a ruckus.
Yeah.
She could be a good flank.
Hamtaro.
Yeah, Hamtaro.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's a little bit different. And then you have like Spider-Man and Black Panther and Magic, who are melee DPS characters that are full dive. Like they have like very limited range options. So it's kind of a weird mashup if you're not used to it. And it took me a little bit to get used to it. So Ryan is kind of a hybrid on Overwatch. He's not necessarily supposed to dive. He's just great at creating space. So like you have Magneto and Doctor Strange, who essentially can both do the same thing, but they don't have the ability to push in and disrupt. So like Venom has that ability and Thor has that ability, but Thor is a melee character. So, and Venom is like basically a melee character, but he has really long range on his tentacles. So they're kind of mixing that up just a little bit in a very interesting way. And when I mean dive, like most Venoms dive the backline and focus supports, and then while the team readjusts to his presence, then it allows for the off tank, the actual tank, I guess you would say, to actually push up and create that space with the DPS characters, while the supports just try to heal bot Venom during that whole engagement. But Venom's abilities allow him to get in, do a ton of damage, and get out without taking hardly any damage to himself. It's crazy. Do all characters have?
He can just armor up.
Do all characters have the ability to fly, jump high on rivals, or just a select few? So like it depends. Not all of them do. So like Moon Knight has a double jump, and he has the ability to glide. Punisher has a zip line, so doesn't really have the ability to fly or jump high, but is able to get up on higher surfaces with that. Like Venom and Spider-Man, web swing. So they're Iron Man.
You had there it is. You're saying it now.
Yeah, Iron Man, Storm, and to a lesser extent, Doctor Strange and Star-Lord have the ability to fly around. A lot of them are super mobile, but not all of them. So like Spider-Man, high mobility. Venom, high mobility. Black Panther, high mobility. Star-Lord, high mobility. But like Punisher, no. Hela, kinda, but not really. Like she has a movement ability, but I wouldn't consider like super like high mobility.
It's just a straight shot.
Yeah. Like she has the ability to basically teleport. Magic has crazy mobility, but she's a melee.
I like Magic.
So they're kind of balancing it in that way. So your melee characters are high mobility, high damage, high risk, high reward. Your, backline DPS characters, Punisher, Hela, you have a couple of those. They're less mobile. So they're easy to get singled out by high mobility characters. And since it's 2 DPS, most of the time, 2 DPS versus 2 DPS, you really have to rely on the tanks creating that space if you're playing against a team comp that doesn't have mobile characters. Because if they don't, they're just going to obliterate your front line the entire time. So it works. It's like a chess match. It's really interesting. All right, let me restart this.
New practice range.
Yeah, my bad.
Though I will
you're
keep
good.
the specifics about the newly added heroes under wraps for now. Doom's Rise is our opening season, and it's all about the chaos caused by Dr. Doom's time experiments, unleashing the time string entanglement, resulting in the formation of 4 new chronoverses. The techno-dystopia of 2099, the present timeline where evil readily strikes, the unstable space-time of the mosaic timeline, and the collapsing timeline where even the gods can die. Futures, pasts, and alternate realities will be woven into our ever-evolving narrative, where every match you play tells a story.
So what dude just said, and I'll back it up there's not a big shot of it, but the different chronospheres or whatever he's calling them, the chrono worlds, are where the different chronoverses are the different realities, but they're also map locations. So you have, the 2099 is one, you have Tokyo 2099 where a couple of the maps take place. You have a different reality where all of the Asgard maps take place. So I think that that's going to be their way of introducing new maps into the game, is by expanding the universes that you have access to. And there'll be, of course, some overlap there where it's like, okay, this universe has this story and it makes, this makes sense or whatever. What up, Rubio? Welcome in, man. But I think that that's a cool way of doing it, where you have different universes that's going to have different things going on in those universes that may or may not be like, our, primary universe. And that's where the maps are going to be. That's kind of a great idea.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Like it's really interesting how they're doing that, but it makes sense. So I wonder if the timelines are going to lock certain characters. What do you mean? Lock certain characters? like lock them out from being usable or make you like force pick them for you. Maybe they buff the timeline they're meant to be in. Well, it's kind of like Battle World in Marvel Comics, where it's like, or it's like Crisis, where the universe is, since Doctor Doom is doing the timeline entanglement or whatever it's called, it's unraveling everything, so everything is like mushing together. So that's what I'm curious. Are you going to have different maps where certain parts of the maps are from different realities? Have they talked about balance at all since we last played the beta? Yeah, they have. Whenever they did the last like extremely limited play tests, they did a lot of balance changes to a lot of characters. So like Loki got a little bit of a buff to his fire rate, and he has the ability to drop another clone. The team up ability that Wanda and Magneto have, they nerf the damage that Magneto's able to do with that ability active. So it's going to bring his usefulness based on that one ability down quite a bit. They've nerfed ranges of certain things, fall offs. They have done a lot of balance changes behind the scenes. I'm interested to see like the full breakdown of like, here's how this works. They probably won't do a balance like patch note thing since it's the first release, but hopefully they'll do a comparison of like, this is what the closed beta was like versus what it is now.
Now, but we talked about a nerf on Magneto. Like, how much of a nerf?
I think they lowered the damage output that the sword can do, and lowered the fire rate of it. I'm not sure if it still pierces enemies or not, but yeah. We heard your complaints and we've decided to give Venom more armor.
No, God, no.
I hope they and I think they might have tweaked that a little bit to where it doesn't have the same multiplier for the health that is missing. I don't know what the multiplier was before, but like if Venom was like at 50 HP and he popped his ability, it put him up to like 3,000 HP. So I think they adjust those values a little bit, I think.
I mean, I don't think it's going to matter.
Well, after we started playing it for a while, we kind of got used to how the Venoms would play. And it got more tolerable because you knew how to deal with them. You could like stun them.
How to deal with it.
Yeah, you could stun them or freeze them, like use some kind of CC on the Venom and then primary focus fire.
Gang up on him.
He can have armor, but the fact that he can just drop kill everyone and then dip his inspire. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just all that work, you get him down to a sliver of health, and then his armor just replenishes his entire health. You're just like, oh, yeah. What the?
And then he gets the web swing ability back, so he's just out. Yeah, he's just out.
He's so fast. Yeah, just whoosh, you're like, dude.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got.
It tells a story, but this is just the beginning. We are eager to bring more heroes and maps to those who love Marvel Rivals. So, Season 1 will begin in early January 2025. This season will be the framework for all our 4 seasons going forward, where we plan to launch each season with new content, heroes, maps, team-up abilities, and maybe even new game modes.
Okay, so each season, right? So we're going to say seasonal update. We're going to get new heroes, new maps, new team-up abilities, and what was the last thing you said? New team-up abilities.
Yes, and maybe even
new game modes. When we get Godzilla, dude, that would be sick.
Dude.
Right?
When we get Godzilla, damn it, Rubio.
New game modes. Each season will last about every 3 months. Behind the
All right, so each season is going to be a 3-month period. So every 3 months, we can go ahead and conceive that we get a new hero, at least one, a new map, at least one, new team up abilities, and new game modes. So the game modes, sure, whatever. That Like the game modes that they have now, I'm fine with. If they add like one more, yeah, if they add like one more game mode that is going to be part of that full roster, then I'm cool with it. But I do like the mix up of the payload objective and the King of the Hill objective. If they added one more, that would be a nice 3-way rotation. You'd be able to get in and play a different game mode, conceivably every time that you queue into a match.
That's one game that doesn't lead itself to team deathmatch. So I hope they never do that.
Yeah, I think team deathmatch would be great for like whenever you're queuing, kind of like what Overwatch does.
Yeah, just to have a little goofy fun time. But like as an actual game mode, I think it would, unless they just put in a ridiculous amount of healing and shit.
Yeah, yeah. Let me play as Batman. I mean, Moon Knight kind of is what I would imagine Moon Knight would play like. So,
what would you say the Marvel equivalent of Batman is?
I think there's two. I think the Bruce Wayne side of Batman and the tech side would be Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I think the detective side and the more human side would be Moon Knight.
I was going to say Stark, but Stark's just not a detective at all, really.
No. He's got Jarvis. He doesn't.
I mean, he plays Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that exactly, Gigs. This one allowed death match practice range and queue. And we'll get into how they're going to be prioritizing queues and things like that. But yeah, I'm for that. Hope this game doesn't end up like Rogue Company. It can't. No, there's too much money that they're going to throw at it for that. But new heroes. So they've been releasing heroes in pairs. So we can assume that during a season, we'll probably get a new hero at the beginning of the season and then probably a new hero at the mid-season update point. So they'll be able to do balance changes to the hero that was just added, maybe make a couple of other tweaks and things like that, and also at that same time drop a new hero. The question is, a lot of games do this, is whenever they drop new characters, they always reset and hold off on ranked because they want to allow people to get in there and play with a new character, learn how to play against them, or they disable the character in ranked. So if they're going to be continuously adding new characters, which I'm all for, you're going to get, they're going to release them in pairs, you're going to get 8 characters a year spread out across every 3-month update, which is not crazy. It's not too much. It's almost the right amount. If you're getting a new hero, 2 new heroes every 3 months, that's not a bad deal, or every month and a half, however you want to look at it. So it makes me wonder how they're going to do ranked, or if like they drop a hero at the beginning of the season, they're locked out until the mid-season update. When the mid-season update happens, they make balance passes at that character and then activate them for ranked. And then they drop a new character and they disable them until the next season starts. And then they just kind of lag behind in that way. New maps makes sense. I'm all for that. I just hope they don't waste so much time creating new maps for new game modes. Just like Kyle said, Rogue Company, where they wasted so much time making maps for limited time game modes and like skirmish, the small 2v2 wingman, like that was genuinely a waste of time. It was great that they did it, but they wasted time and money by doing that. Make the game modes work around the maps that you already have. Don't waste time making maps for new game modes unless you're going to be adding a very core game mode into the game. Like Overwatch had that tug of war game mode where there was the robot and you pushed it, and those were only on maps designed for that game mode. And I enjoyed that game mode. That makes sense. That's to me, I would play a ranked game like that. So, I bet Vision is one of the 6 heroes. I hope that would be amazing.
That'd be cool.
Yes.
Really cool, yeah.
Yes. Will it be like Overwatch where ults are fast to get back because nobody could gain crazy benefits from it, and Overwatch 2 was longer because how good people got? It's different. So you have like we looked at it last week. Moon Knight gets his ult back really fast, but it's an AoE effect that can be easily dodgeable. Whereas you have something like Punisher's ult is going to take a little bit longer to get back. So they're basing the quickness of the ult versus the impact that it has in the match per character. So like Luna Snow gets her ult back really slow, but it allows her to mass heal, mass buff, and prevent CC to all the characters in her radius. So it's very impactful into the game. Whereas you have like, also Adam Warlock's ult. He's able to revive people. If the whole team gets wiped and Adam Warlock's alive, he can revive everybody instantly using his ult. Takes a very long time to get that ult back. But certain characters that have ults that are easy to dodge, something that isn't as impactful to the game, they get it back fast, and it almost turns into, yeah. But it does, like, I don't know, did Mercy's Overwatch 1 ult revive everybody that was dead?
I don't remember that.
Because Adam Warlock's revives everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It does, and that shit changes the fucking game every time.
And they're full healed when they come back. Like, anyone near her can be everyone. Okay. So, yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah. Okay, what if they make a LTM and map for it, but when the LTM is done, they add the map into all or fitting modes? That would be great. I would be okay with that. Just, I hope they don't waste time and money on maps that are only for LTMs, and we never see those maps again until that LTM pops back up in like a rotation or something. Honestly, me personally, I'm over LTMs in games. I understand that there's like, there's definitely a calling for it. A lot of people enjoy those LTMs, but like, I have a limited amount of time that I can play a game. It's so limited that I don't want to play game modes that don't matter. I want to play the game modes that the game was designed around, and everything else can just like not even exist. You know, Overwatch Mayhem LTM is fun though. And see, that's the thing. Like whenever I played Overwatch, I just played, the role queue, and I didn't even get into the LTMs on there. Paladins uses their TDM siege maps for most LTMs. Yeah. So that would be a good way to repurpose. And if they make maps for it and they're able to repurpose it, then I'm fine with it. Team up abilities. This is going to be interesting because if they're going to be adding different team up abilities for different sets of characters into the game, if you have like, one character can team up with these two other characters, but that same character can also team up with two other characters. Is it going to activate the team up abilities globally for everybody that's in the match? So if that one character can trigger two different team up abilities with 4 different people, if you select those 4 people and the trigger character, is it going to allow for everybody to have access to those abilities? Are you going to have to pick what is the most beneficial? So you can pick between the different team up abilities. How is that going to work? Because right now, as the game is, and I don't know how it is in ranked, people can go in and they can just change characters whenever they want to. So with that, you gain and lose team up abilities as the match progresses, especially with randoms, because they'll pick different characters until they find something that works. I normally would stick with one character whenever I'd play, just to play that one character out through the entire match. But when you're playing with randos, you never know what team up abilities you're going to have. So then you have the added
counter picking.
Well, you have the added complexity on top of it to where that person not only picks a character, but also has like 2 or 3 different team up abilities with various different characters on the team, and they've got to pick one of them. Do they really want to add that much complexity into the game? I don't know how that's going to work. I'm not mad at it. I don't hate it. I just think there needs to be they need to have a good
limitations.
Well, they just need to think it out, because a lot of people are going to come into this game as a free-to-play Marvel game, not playing hero shooters before, not experiencing a game like this before. They're not going to know what they're doing. And
absolutely.
And people that are just getting on there to try to have fun and to play with their friends could easily get irritated at people that have no idea what they're doing. So that's, Mayhem basically cut all cooldowns in half, made lots of spammy stuff. Oh, God. I think when people see a meta team up, people will pay more attention to it. That's what happened with Magneto and Scarlet Witch. In comp, because they open ranked up for the last closed beta, almost every ranked game that I watched had a Magneto and had a Wanda, because Magneto's DPS was higher, the highest DPS in the game with that team up. So you definitely see that. But then again, in comp modes, they hopefully keep team ups in mind. I mean, they have to, because you get an active ability added to it, but you also get passive bonuses based on certain team ups, where like you reload faster if you're teamed up with Rocket. That's a passive buff. Whenever you pick, I think it's Adam Warlock, you do bonus healing, like plus 10% healing or something like that. So there's passive and active team ups, things that are happening there. So, but here's what I want. I'm gonna put this ultimate team up abilities. That's what I want. I misspelled abilities, and it's fine. Ultimate team up abilities right here is where I want them to give us the ability to pick like a full X-Men character pool, a full Fantastic Four, a full Defenders, a full X-Force, a full Avengers. You like, whenever you lock in 6 characters that have been a part of insert, super group. Yeah.
The Sinister Six.
Yes, exactly. Just like, yeah. And you get a super unique ultimate team up ability there, whether it be just a passive thing that happens in the game, whether it be something that you can activate where everybody has to activate it. I don't care how they do it. It could be something as simple as changing the announcer voice to a different announcer voice based on, like, if you're all X-Men, you got Professor X as the announcer. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be cool.
If you're all Avengers, you got Jarvis as the announcer. Give us a little something, just a little titty bit of an ultimate team up ability where everybody locks in a team and have different variations. You have Fantastic Four, you have New Fantastic Four. New Fantastic Four was Hulk, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Ghost Rider. Bam. Like, that would be a cool team up thing. The Defenders, Luke Cage, Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Iron Fist. There you go. And then you could have, the regular team up abilities is going to work great for, like, Captain America Winter Soldier, Deadpool Wolverine, Luke Cage Iron Fist, Power Man Iron Fist, all that kind of stuff like that. Those work perfect for that. I want ultimate team up abilities. That would be insanely awesome. Scarlet ult seems annoying, especially her ult sound. She's so loud. Yeah. It's big. And since the environments are destructible, you can still get killed through walls. It's stupid, and I hate it, and I hope they fix it. Are they going the route Smite and Paladins with perks or a purchase tree, or do what Overwatch did and only heroes and their abilities passives? They're basically doing what Overwatch is doing. The team up abilities add different benefits, like, passive abilities and stuff, but you're not able to go in and upgrade your abilities. You're not able to go in and buy cards or, perks or items or whatever, like Paladins did. You're just locked into what you've got. And then whenever you have a team up ability, it gives you a new ability that you have access to, all that good stuff. All right, let's finish this video out real quick. No, so there's different characters that have different passive abilities that gets them in and out of CC, stuff like that. So there's no Unbound Resilience perk. Not at all. But there's not a lot of heavy CC in the game. Like you only have a handful of CC characters. You have Wanda has CC, Luna Snow, Mantis has CC, maybe 2 or 3 more.
Penny.
Yeah. So
since we're already laying the groundwork for
I
next
think
year.
it would behoove
And-
them to introduce a 4th type of character like a flank.
yeah, I don't know why.
Because that could be your like main CC and sneaky bitches, you know?
Yeah. Who plays Mantis? I played Mantis quite a bit during the beta.
Yeah, I enjoyed Mantis.
I started playing as a support with Rocket and Luna, and then I started playing with Mantis because
Mantis is strong.
she has more utility because she's able to buff movement speed, heal. Yeah. And she's kind of like Mercy in that way, where she throws different things out that allows different bonuses. So you have a healing one, you have
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's strong.
Is the rest of Guardians of the Galaxy in the game? Drax and Gamora is not. But they probably will be.
There.
Yeah.
Drax will be a tank sooner than later.
I main Scarlet. That makes sense, honestly.
It's shaping up to be something really exciting.
I mean, he has to be right. And then what y'all say, Gamora?
We know the topic that's been the subject of discussion among the community has been monetization. Above all, we want to remind the players that we are never going to charge for power, and there will be no pay-to-win schemes. So to start and launch, we are rolling out a battle pass packed with costumes and
what do you mean? I mean, let's say you mained the invisible chick in Overwatch 2. What was her? Sombra? Was that her name?
Yes.
I mean, so it makes perfect sense that you would main the most annoying characters on both of the games. No offense, but it makes sense. Nebula or Thanos. Now, I imagine that they're going to leave like Thanos, Doom, maybe Ultron, like high level villain characters as story points. Like Doctor Doom is the villain right now. I don't think that they'll be adding Doctor Doom as a character until they wrap that up. And then they'll probably introduce Thanos as the villain. And then they'll have a whole arc. It could be a year of like Thanos being the villain and the story coming out and all that good stuff. And then they'll probably release Thanos at the end of it.
and cosmetic.
Maybe the big villains will get their own season. Yeah, exactly. And that would be the perfect way to do it. I mean, if Doctor Doom is the puppet master that's undoing everything, you know what I'm saying? Then it would make sense where other people try to like take control of everything. So Scarlet is like Sombra when Psylocke is literally coming into the game. I'm not saying that Scarlet plays like Sombra. I'm saying that Scarlet is as annoying as playing against Sombra. And I haven't played against Psylocke. So Psylocke may take the place of the annoyance of Scarlet Witch, but I doubt it. I mean, the annoyance with Scarlet Witch is the fact that like she has an auto aim ability. She has high DPS with her alt fire. She has a globe CC that stuns people multiple times while they're inside of the dome. She has an ult that has the largest explosion radius of any explosive I've ever seen in any hero shooter or any first person game ever. Not to mention that it kills you through walls because the environment is destructible. Like the definition of cheese, in my opinion. Like, no offense, but definitely the definition of cheese.
Pure chaos, dude.
Her burst is canon, though. Her burst can be canon, and they can keep her burst. But the thing is like, does it need to destroy the environment and kill the people behind the environment? Does it need to be as large as it is? I know that there's a lengthy ramp up time for the ability. Oh, I forgot. She has 2 escape mechanics that allow her to go completely damage immune and invisible while she's using them so that she can get out of danger twice, not once, but twice. Yeah. I'm fine with them keeping all of the canon stuff in there for the character, but like she is like, and I get it. You want to make a character that is new player friendly. That's what Soldier 76 was. That's what Victor was in Paladins. Character with an auto aim ability that you can stack charges of that deals like a quarter, if not more, of a health bar whenever you use the alt fire. You have 2 different escape abilities that make you completely damage and CC immune. And you have the biggest explosion ult in the history of first person shooters. It's wild. It's just wild. When I play her, it's cheesy. I feel cheesy when I use her. And like I said, no offense to anybody that plays her. Those are just my personal opinions on it. But like, yeah. Will comp have a ban phase? Probably. With the amount of characters they're adding, I assume so. But Rivals is third person. So was Rogue, and Lancer was a cheese ball. I mean, if we're gonna, so was the sawed-off shotgun in Gears of War. I mean, if we're gonna look at third-person games, like there's plenty of cheese that are in those games as well. So I feel like if you're behind a destructible wall, you should only take half damage. Exactly. It shouldn't obliterate everything that exists in that small area.
Yeah.
Take goodies. Since Season 0 only lasts about a month, the Season 0 Pass has half the content of a full seasonal Battle Pass and is priced accordingly. The store will be regularly updated, packed with costumes from classic comic looks, MCU-inspired designs, costumes that directly reflect the unique story of our
So this is cool.
And
that would nerf her cannon power. I mean, but we can't look at it like that. I mean, if we're going to look at Wanda's canon abilities, then she would essentially be able to unravel the fabric of space-time.
She's arguably the strongest character in all of Marvel.
Yeah. So like if
her or Doctor Strange.
Yeah, exactly. And Doctor Strange is nowhere near as powerful as she is. I mean, you can't look at it like that. You kind of have to do a full separation of like the game. Because like there's a lot of things, like I don't feel like Hulk is accurately represented in Marvel Rivals compared to his comic book or cinematic version. I understand why they created the character the way they did. And I'm not saying that the character design is bad, but I'm saying that if you're going to base what Hulk is able to do on his comic book counterpart, then you would be able to get stronger and do more damage and be faster the more damage that you take. Yep. You wouldn't be able to throw bubble shields on people, which makes 0 sense in Hulk canon. Why he's throwing bubble shields on himself and everybody that's around him. I mean, the slap with the stun almost makes sense, but it's not quite there. Like, so if we're going to look at it from that perspective.
I love that concept, though, of a tank that progressively does more damage the more damage that he takes.
Yeah.
Because as a healer and as a tank duo, you'd have to walk that fine line in between it. Like, you want him to do a fair amount of damage, but you also don't want him to get too low in health.
Well, and I think that the way that they created Hulk in the game, where whenever Hulk's HP gets all the way down, he reverts back to Banner. It makes sense for them to have a character like that. He's a melee character, other than his slap ability that he has. So it would make so much sense for him to be able to take the damage, to be able to gain a speed increase, to be able to gain a damage increase, to be able to gain a more leap distance. And when he's angry, like whenever he's lower HP, he should gain ult charge faster because that's his anger is going up. So, yeah.
I don't like his design, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if we can't look at like a comparison of like their comic book or MCU counterpart versus the game, because like I said, if what Wanda's doing is canonical, sure, but also she's not erasing existence. So I'm sure they'll add Kate Bishop at some point.
Kate Bishop.
He's Zarya. Yeah, Zarya Diva, kinda. Yeah. So the Diva thing, as far as like, he doesn't ult explode his suit or his body, but whenever his HP gets all the way down, he reverts into Banner. And then if you stay alive, then your ult turns into turning back into Hulk. So, but they did tease Hawkeye, so that'll get us one step closer. I just hope they like with Spider-Man and Miles. Like they've already kind of teased it where it's like, I just want the MCU outfit that Kate Bishop has during Hawkeye. Well, they've been adding MCU skins, which I've got pulled up here. So we'll definitely they'll definitely do that. Homelander, there's no way.
They could make Miles more of a range character instead of a melee character.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping.
Because he has the electrical ability, he could just shoot out like electrical webs as his thing or something.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, we get the anti-Venom skin for Venom, even though they're different characters. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So I hope that they don't decide to do like Hawkeye and then just make a Kate Bishop skin. I feel like that she's a unique enough character to make a character of. But you know, like Iron Lad is enough of a unique character, in my opinion, from Iron Man to create a new character. But they could easily just do an Iron Lad skin for Iron Man. So I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Inspired designs,
I'm gonna fish
costumes that directly reflect the unique story of our game.
We got Bagman, Spider-Man.
One final note, we know we have Marvel Rivals fans from all over the world, and we are committed to making the best gaming experience possible to cover all our players. We've committed to maintain 60 server tick rate.
60 server tick rate is massive for a hero shooter. This is great news. Not only that, but...
And also expanded our server regions to ensure everyone has a smooth gaming experience. With our new server node selection feature, you can choose a single or group of servers best for you, optimizing for lower ping and faster matchmaking. We are almost done with these details, so be sure to check out our dedicated server node site launching soon. Additionally, we are also very happy to announce full voiceovers in English, Chinese, and Japanese, along with text support in 16 languages on release. We can't wait for you to join us in the world of Marvel Rivals. Thank you for your support, and let's build this unforgettable adventure together. Ignite the battle.
All right, so 60 tick rate servers. So let's see what Overwatch 2 server tick rate. Let's see what we got. So says Overwatch 2 is 60. Apparently it's 64 tick rate servers. So it's going to be on the same level. 64 hertz is a decent number for a competitive game. It's similar to CS:GO. And also the nodes. Like, when you can go into like Rogue Company, for example, and you can pick which region you want to queue for, but they're taking it a step further. They're like, oh, you're not only going to select which region you're queuing for, but you're also going to be selecting which part of the region you want to queue to. So do you want to queue to Dallas? Do you want to queue to Virginia? Do you want to queue to Oregon? You know, whatever, wherever the nodes are. And you can select all of them. You can select one of them. You can select two of them. So like in our location, based on the video, they've got, let's see, where was that drop down at? Let's see, right here. Okay. So you've got Oregon, Dallas, and Northern Virginia, right? So, and this is just in North America. They might expand that in the future. But for us, it would make sense to queue to two of those locations because we're kind of in the middle of both of them. Whenever we played on the beta, it was just queuing us to Oregon. And you could tell that it was queuing us to Oregon. The ping was high. It wasn't like unbelievably high like we were playing in oceanic servers, but it was still high. So it's cool that they're making nodes, and they may expand this over time based on player population and select locations. So like if the Southeast has a really high player count, then they may have an Atlanta node. If the Northeast has a really high player count, or like up into Canada, they may have, something in like Chicago or somewhere like, or Boston, somewhere in that area. So they could expand this, and they could also activate and deactivate nodes when they need to. If the player count Northern Virginia drops off at a certain time, then they could eliminate that one, but they could put another one on the West Coast to compensate for it. So I'm not mad at that. Yeah, Adam Warlock is nutty. Seems like a lot of server data. But you're choosing a region to queue. So it's going to be communicating with the node. The node's going to be communicating with the server, the game server, going back to the node and distributing the information. Like Rogue Company was in Singapore. So it was hitting a node somewhere in the United States and sending it to Singapore, and then sending it back to whatever node it was hitting in the United States, divvying it out. I don't know where the actual host server is going to be located at, but I think Rogue Company had like 20 tick servers or 30 tick servers. So this is going to be twice, if not 3 times faster. So I don't get much players on West servers on most games. Which is interesting. Because it seems like there'd be a really high player count on West Coast servers most times because of how time zones work. I don't know. But let's look at some of these announced skins. So we've got the Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme of the Galaxy. I like this skin. I think it's kind of cool looking.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah. We've got the Star-Lord Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I like this. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 costumes. So pulling skins. Yeah. We got the Adam Warlock Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I do like this quite a bit. I like the way he looked in that movie. So I might like it better than his default skin. I don't know.
We dipped himself in gold.
Bass Chosen Black Panther. This skin is pretty cool.
Whoa.
Yes, right? Like, it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
We've got the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Mantis skin, which I do like this quite a bit. The Incognito Dolphin Jeff the Landshark skin. I mean, this I like it too. I like how furry it is. Like it. But it's gonna make him a really big target.
Yeah.
A really big target running around as a shark.
I still like it. I like him as a healer too. I really enjoy playing him.
And they buffed Jeff as well.
What?
Oh,
yes. Yeah.
No. I think he was already strong.
Well, I think they increased the
healing per second.
No, I think it's the same, but I think he has more jet.
Oh, okay.
He's able to heal longer.
Don't run out as quick, yeah.
Yeah. And they buffed his projectile speed and his projectile damage. I think they decreased the fall off because it's an explosive.
Yeah. I get that. I didn't get a lot of kills with him, but I did a lot.
Yeah. Is Firestar in the game?
I like that Loki skin a lot too.
Yeah, that Loki skin's dope.
Yeah, this is season 2. Firestar. Hold on.
Isn't that like DC?
No, it's a X-Men, right?
No, DC Starfire.
Angelica Jones. So this, I remember Firestar from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Was that a show?
Yeah, it was like in the 60s. Right here.
Oh.
This is it. It's so small. Let me go back.
What the fuck?
I never watched that.
Yeah, I used to watch this all the time.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I saw Spider-Man, the animated series, or whichever one it was, in the 90s.
Spider-Man and his amazing friend.
I've definitely seen that art style, but I've never seen this show.
With Iceman and Firestar.
Iceman. Dude, with the art, that could have easily been the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, right. Did you watch this? Gigs? Do you know about this? I thought that me and my brothers were like the only people on the planet that knew about this show. Yeah, I watched it. Wow. Wow.
That's wild.
That is 1981 was whenever it came out.
Damn.
But
I
yeah.
never watched it.
Yeah, look at these transformations right here. So Spider-Man's just going to suit up like normal. You know what I'm saying? But wait. He pulls the lever of the trophy in the room and it like spins everything in the room around. This is genius. Pull the trophy. Bed's gone.
Spider-Man and his amazing friend.
Hey, it's Dr. Doom.
I have not thought about this show.
I know Spider-Man's had a lot of shows and a lot of video.
Yeah. Gigs just unlocked a memory. Oh my God. I haven't thought about this show in so long, dude.
I think Spider-Man's first video game was in like 83 or 84 for the Atari.
Oh my God. Can we watch an episode? Are they on here? Let's see. There's the intro again. There is one episode on. I'll be back. Gigs, are you going to start right here? Here's a playlist. Is this a full playlist? Yeah, episode 25, 24, 23, 20. Yeah. So here's a playlist of all the episodes. 21 minutes. Wow. I haven't thought about this in so long. The person that uploaded it is Toilet Water. W Toilet Water. Do they have all of it? Let's see. What a music. 25 or 26, it looks like.
26 seasons or 26 episodes?
26 episodes.
Okay.
That's so. All right. I got to get out of that or I'm going to fall down that rabbit hole. Only shows I watched this old were TMNT, Inspector Gadget, Sonic X, and Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Definitely TMNT. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
All right, so we got the Loki season 2 skin. I like this. I wish that they showed the full body. Wait, what? So apparently, I guess watching that trailer caused YouTube to mark that. That's because I got a pop-up on the stream over here that said that they detected like copywritten content, so I'm guessing that's what it was.
What?
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just trim it out later. But yeah, I do like the Loki 2 skin. And then we also got, this was today, Punisher 2099. I think
I
it
like
looks,
that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I like that a lot.
yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Looks super cool.
I know they said they were killing the Punisher as a character. I'm glad they didn't end up killing him for good.
Yeah, right. But
Too
yeah,
popular, man.
these are the
he's
newest,
on the main roster, dude.
the newest skins that dropped since the last time that we were on here. And we've got the splash art, but this is the countdown. So right now we're on 18 days left until the game drops. So that means the last 6 characters are probably going to be the announced characters. So, okay, let's close all these out. And then we've got the first look at Wakanda Burning T'Challa map. IGN does a first look walkthrough. I'm going to play this, but I'm not going to play with the sound because they're probably going to be talking. Yeah.
Wakanda.
And I don't care anything about what IGN's opinion on anything is. When and who is the new hero? Well, there's 6 characters that haven't been announced, Benjamin, that we're going to be getting. So I'm assuming, I'm hoping, I'm not, because I don't know. Hawkeye has been teased, so I'm going to go ahead and say Hawkeye is going to be one of them. But I'm hoping that Deadpool, Wolverine, Kyle said Vision. That would be great. I mean, I want Ghost Rider and Blade, like Midnight Suns.
Sure, Blade.
Yeah, like some people are saying Squirrel Girl could be one. I mean, I know we need a couple more support characters. So
Deadpool,
yeah,
Wolverine. Oh,
so they're saying the game is going to drop with 33 characters, and we only have 27 announced as of right now. So they're going to be dropping 6 more characters. I mean, this map looks really cool. And I'm assuming
the
like
face in the sky was cool.
yeah.
Badass chandelier.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Can't pay for that.
Port of exit. What is this game mode? That's the question. Because this doesn't look like a game mode that we've seen before. I mean, look at that. Yeah, there's a lot of detail that's gone into this. Oh, they've got the Wakanda alphabet like writing on everything. Yeah, if you fall off the map, you die. Unless you have a character that can fly or. And that's something that's interesting. I don't think that you get penalized for flying out of bounds or swinging out of bounds and stuff like that. So there's a lot of counterplay that happens whenever you're doing that. Shuri's bedroom is a very interesting choice for a location. Like I think in one of the maps we were in Loki's bedroom, but
yeah,
that's a little different. Oh, we got the waterfall here. Are we gonna fight to see who the leader of Wakanda is? Oh, these statues are moving.
I was about to say they look like they're moving. Dude, if that's the warriors you're fighting, I don't know.
We got this Garbo.
They're literally 13 feet tall.
It is a fight. So they're only showing the edge of the maps for some, like the edge of the locations for some reason. It's IGN. I don't know what to expect here, but it is IGN, and they always doing something stupid. I don't know why they're showing the edges of the map. Like, it's cool to see the scenery that you can't play on, but I don't care anything about seeing something that you can't play on. The dual prep room. Yeah, so here we go. We got some action happening here.
Yeah,
So yeah, it looks cool though. It's a lot. It looks a lot bigger whenever you're actually in the match fighting people and seeing the character sizes in relation to the map size. All right, Lenovo. I want to get back to this. Yeah. So dual preparation room, which is the your starting zone lobby. So I don't know what this game mode is. Let's roll it back here. Can you still get rid of annotations? Yeah. Well, they still pop up. Okay, so it looks like this might be a new game mode where because this symbolizes the waterfall in the center of the screen up here. So I'm assuming that it is like a single location domination, if that makes sense. So like you'll start out and there'll be a central point that you're fighting over, and whoever captures that point gets the notation at the top. And then you fight over the next point after that one's been captured. So then it moved from whatever the first point was to the waterfall, and you're fighting over that region, and whoever gets that gets it. So it's kind of like King of the Hill, but the point moves around on the map as opposed to just being a very large central area, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's still King of the Hill at the end of the day, but like that'll make the matches last a lot longer. Unless this is just how they're doing King of the Hill now.
Now, yeah, they're just changing it all together.
Yeah. But the way the map was laid out was like different areas that you could see. Like right here, you see the waterfall up here, and then it's pointing to where the waterfall is on the map. Like the map looks bigger than just a single location.
Oh yeah, it looks ginormous.
And this is just one map. Burning T'Challa. Wakanda Burning T'Challa. Biernan? Is it? I don't know. It might be Biernan. Burning? I don't know.
Don't ask me.
Yeah. Yeah, it says Capture Warrior Falls. So you come over here and that's the location. And then there's, the circle on the ground. Is he going to walk into it? Nope. Let's just stop right at the edge of it. And see, this is a change right here. We've got a different location. It hasn't unlocked yet because you're in the throne room. So this might be King of the Hill. It might just be in different areas. But I want like a conquest, like a payload map in Wakanda. That would be super cool. Going through the streets of Wakanda. All right. So we did have an interview. I'm just going to kind of breeze through this a little bit. So how different would the game be with and without destructible environments? So the difference is very significant as a game built around superhero battles. Our goal is adding destruction effects is to showcase just how powerful they are beyond the conventional sound effects, special effects, and actions. This is the most basic design expectation for this feature. But beyond that, we hope to use it to introduce dynamic changes within maps, such as knocking down a high platform to hinder enemy snipers or creating a whole new path for a sneak attack. These effects all have the potential to turn the tide in battle. This helps ensure no two battles are alike, even on the same map, which is the second level of consideration. We also want to integrate themed environmental destruction in different maps. For example, in Ysgard, some broken things can be restored, and the transition between destruction and restoration will bring new variables to player strategies. Another example is Tokyo 2099, where even if players destroy walls and pillars, part of the roof will still be suspended by spiderwebs. This kind of aerial cover can also lead to changes in tactics and operations. These are basic expectations regarding the design of destructible environments. Their presence is sure to make a large difference in gameplay. I don't like the destructible environments coming back in Ysgard. Like the ones in Tokyo 2099 is fine because you have the spiders on the roof that like I said, holds the roofs up. But I like it whenever they're gone. During our hands-on experience, we noticed that the total area of the destructible environment and the location of objectives can be destroyed, such as platforms and potential passages, are often fixed. Do you anticipate players seeing the destruction effects as fixed parts of the map after playing several rounds and thus not feeling there is anything special about them? Indeed. We did not make the scene completely destructible. This is because certain static features such as obstacles, key firing line, blocking structures, and crucial points of cover are the glue that holds the map together. If these are completely removed, the map's design will lose its meaning. All the destruction effects are designed on this basis. But despite this, we've still managed to include a high portion of destructible elements in each map. During battle, players can quickly see which areas can and can't be destroyed by pressing B. This is introduced through and integrated into the setting through chronovision, making it more than a feature simply added out of thin air. While ensuring there are enough destructible parts of the environment to feel satisfying, we still ensured that it's sufficiently difficult to completely tear down the map. For example, a single round on a domination map may only take about 4 minutes, but if it's a convoy or convergence map, a single non-competitive round may take 8 to 10 minutes. Players need to fight and carry forward at the same time. If you don't deliberately tear down a building, it's really difficult to take into account all the destruction points. In this way, there will be more obvious difference between each round. Do all the abilities of all heroes have the ability to destroy the environment, or do only some of the abilities of some heroes? All abilities of all heroes have the ability to destroy scenes. In fact, each ability in the game has 2 types of damage. Damage to characters and damage to destructible buildings and objects. I mean, that makes sense. Over the past 2 days, I've experienced 3 new heroes, such as Moon Knight with his darts. These darts may look too small to do any real damage, yet they too are capable of breaking down buildings. What is the standard for configuring destructible power? To a certain extent, a building is treated like a character with a certain HP value, such as 500 or 1000. When a hero uses their abilities on it, part of that building's HP will be deducted, and once its HP is depleted, the building will be destroyed. We do indeed adapt the destructiveness of different abilities according to their power. Or is darts his primary attack? Yeah, I'll pull that video up here in just a second, Kyle. Let's see. Here's some questions about team-up abilities. First of all, I'd like to ask whether this feature will be designed and developed based around existing teams of heroes in the original comics, or whether there will be some original team-ups. We actually have both. For example, the combination of Groot and Rocket is directly lifted from classic scenes in the MCU and comics, while Hulk enhancing Iron Man and Doctor Strange with his Gamma Boost is more of along the lines of our exploration of the possibility of interactions between heroes and their abilities. In addition, Venom's enhancement effect on Penny and Spider-Man is also our original creation to a certain extent. In the game, Venom can separate part of the symbiote from his body and give it to his teammates, thereby enhancing the abilities of Penny and Spider-Man. In addition to enhancing an ability's power or expanding its range, are there some special or unique team up abilities? Um, the group of Hulk, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange mentioned earlier provides an enhancement to the hero's existing abilities without changing their form, but the team up of Magneto and Scarlet Witch essentially grants Magneto a new long ranged ability. The team up group of Venom, Penny, and Spider Man is also one that adds new abilities. There are also some special team up abilities in our game, such as Hela, Loki, and Thor. Hela is the Queen of Hell, and based on that concept and thorough exploration, she was designed with the ability to revive Loki and Thor, which is completely out of the scope of numerical enhancement or expansion of the three characters' original abilities. Have you made any new discoveries when it comes to balancing these team up abilities? For example, were there any team up effects that you originally thought to be unpopular but turned out to be used by many players? Hold on. Is Apocalypse in the game? No. I think they'll use Apocalypse kind of like Doom. Overall, it is generally within our expectations, but the strength of some combinations may be slightly overtuned. For example, the team up combo of Magneto and Scarlet Witch is indeed quite direct, and many players can use it easily. It has a high floor as well, making it relatively powerful in both ranked and competitive situations. There are also Easter egg type combinations like Rocket Raccoon and Groot. It's not particularly powerful, but players actually like it very much because maybe it's because this combination and being able to fight while riding Groot is just fun in and of itself. The preferences and tendencies of players are generally within our expectations, but some team up effects that fall under personal preferences have become popular, which is indeed slightly beyond our expectations. What's going on, Fred, the Omega Hentai Lord? How's it going, man? I'm doing all right over here, Kyle. What about Galacticus? Yeah, Fred, the Omega Hentai Lord. That's deep, right there. What about Galacticus? They have Galacticat. It's like the female version of Galacticus, but I think that Galacticus was actually in the original, the alpha test. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think he was. You're likely continuing to observe the effects and usage frequencies of these team up abilities to make balance adjustments. Right? I think he was like an announcer and he was part of the story. But there are some villains that you can play, like Magneto. I can't pronounce her name. It's his daughter. Last I remember, she got discontinued in comics. I thought it was like a different, because I'm not familiar with the character, so I thought it was like a different reality version of Galacticus or something. You're likely continuing to observe the effects usage for. Player encounters a team without any hero team up abilities when queuing up solo. Will there be a big gap in overall strength compared to teams with team up abilities? We've actually considered this issue very carefully and have plans to avoid such situations. First of all, the existing team up framework generally includes a combination of 2 to 3 heroes, but we do not require that all 3 heroes must be present to activate the enhancement effect. For example, if a team includes only Hela and Thor, those 2 players can still activate the resurrection ability. Smaller unit design is obviously conducive to the triggering of team up effects. In addition, there is a concept called Team Up Core in the game. Some characters, which account for about 1/3 of the roster, can enjoy some special effect enhancements throughout the season, even if the hero team up is still not activated. For example, if I choose Hela, but no one in the team chooses Thor or Loki, Hela will still enjoy the season gain effect as a team up core character, which guarantees the strength of the character to a certain extent. Under this premise, only in extreme and rare cases in which players deliberately choose to do so would a team of 6 players want to choose a combination that has neither the buff team up core nor any team up combinations. Based on the aforementioned design, generally speaking, teams with team up effects are competing against each other. In addition, looking at our data from many rounds of testing, there were also no teams that lacked any sort of team up effect. On the other hand, from the experience of our developers, because we almost always play ranked, through our own observations in the ranking environment, players are gradually getting used to the team up system. When I choose Scarlet Witch, my teammates will naturally choose Magneto to cooperate with me. When I choose Iron Man, there's a high probability that my teammate will choose Hulk, or when they see me choose Hulk, my teammates will play Doctor Strange, etc. This situation is becoming more and more common. Yeah, and that makes sense because people are they're actually seeing what the benefits of those team up abilities, and you don't really have like I can't think of a game where you have something like that. Like as far as like a competitive shooter, you know. Um if it's an active ability though, you may need to tell the player how to use it and what effects it has. So yeah, that they have a way of doing that. Is the ultimate development goal of the hero team up system to allow any hero to have a team up effect with any other character. Frankly speaking, we don't want just any hero or any 2 heroes to be able to activate team up abilities, as this would make the game overly complicated. After all, this is not a card game. Players do not have an overview of the entire match available at all times. Our players are more like 6 individuals joining forces to defeat their 6 opponents. They need to communicate and cooperate with each other. Therefore, we should not make the hero team up design too complex. In principle, we should try to keep it to the current 2 to 3 heroes in a group with a dozen or so team ups available. With the continuous addition of new characters, we will also introduce new team up abilities, and the old team ups will also be changed and adjusted to adapt to the new meta. But in general, we still want to continue exploring in this direction. In doing so, we can better help players to learn and master various character combinations, and the overall context will appear clearer. So that kind of clears that question that I had up where it's like, are you going to add multiple team up abilities for like one trigger character? And it sounds like no. Like Thor's trigger is going to always be that same trigger with Captain America and Storm. And it may like get a buff or it may get changed because of the meta of the game, but it doesn't sound like Thor is going to have another um team up ability that goes with other characters. So that's a cool way of keeping it simple. And that's a really good way of keeping it simple. He's like a before the universe was made character, like he's ancient, so yeah, it might be fair to be just an announcement kind of. Yeah, right. I mean, he could show up and just eat the entire universes though. I think Galacticus can spawn life at will. I'm not sure, but I think so. That's yeah, that's like how like Overwatch they migrate to good new characters. Uh what up, Vax? It's coming out December the 6th. All right. All right, so this is the Moon Knight gameplay. And I'll just have this playing in the background while we're talking here. Just turns out Galacticus just spawned his daughter. Yeah. Hit a respawn location. But yeah, that's cool that they kind of clarify that, and that makes sense. I would still like to see ultimate team up where like you get a whole group of people and just make it a passive thing where you don't have to activate anything or make it something like really nuanced like the announcer. But I think that would be cool. That would be a really cool way of like really instilling that like you have a full team of X-Men, you have a full team of Avengers, things like that. Full team of Midnight Suns or whatever it may be. I think that would be a cool way of doing that. But overall, I mean, the roadmap looks promising. 3-month seasons. I don't know how long the battle passes are going to be. I'm assuming that it's probably going to at least go to 50, maybe 100. And then they said that they're going to have a shop, and the shop is going to be consistently updated. So that's going to be cool. Hopefully it'll be a good mix of stuff, and it'll rotate like on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis so that we can get some really good content out of that. It looks like they're doing it right. Hopefully they can keep the momentum. I just hope it doesn't piss people, like something just pisses people off and then they're just like, screw this. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, it could happen. I mean, it happened to Overwatch, you know? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that people might be playing. I want to test Moon Knight the most out of all the characters that's been announced because, like, I want to see what the DPS difference is on using his, like, targeting someone and then letting the bullets bounce versus targeting the Ankh or Ankh, whatever it's called, and letting those bounce to the target. If it's the same or if there's a noticeable DPS difference. I want to main Star-Lord, literally the coolest hero to exist. I mean, he's pretty powerful. He's more of a flank character, but his ult is insane. Can do a lot. I mean, that was a good ult team. Always flank. It makes space for the team. Yeah, he's got some pretty good damage up. And he has the team up with Adam Warlock where he can respawn whenever he dies. He kind of plays like Koga, yeah. Got the dual SMGs. He's able to dash around and fly. And I wish that he had a grenade. But that's the only thing. So yeah, I mean, what heroes do you guys want to see? See the 6 unnamed heroes. Yeah, he does. It's a limited fly potential, but he can fly. Yeah, and whenever he ults, he can fly for the duration of the ult. Let's see, there might be some Star-Lord gameplay. Oh, we got Julie Bowen here. Is Jake Paul in the game? I think so. Vision, Hawk Tua, okay. Black Widow, Deadpool, and Wolverine, boom. What's Hawk Tua's special ability? I know what her ult is. It's in the name. But what's the other abilities that she had?
Hawk
Yeah. She just spits on everything. It's spitting on that thing. That's the ult, Gigs. That's the ult. The ultimate Hawk Tua. But what would be the other abilities? Like Hawk Tua. Oh, Hawkeye autocorrect. That. How often do you talk about Hawk Tua for Hawkeye to autocorrect to that? It's a slow effect in her. So whenever she spits on you, you slow down. You're just like, oh God. Or like,
poison.
Yeah. Yeah. A little too much. I mean,
Take damage.
yeah. Yeah. You get continuous poison damage. Or like a slippery ability. Oh God. She hawks the floor and you slide into the direction you're going.
She slides, leaves a snail trail, and causes you to slide that way too.
Yeah. Basically makes you run into the enemy team. The Hawk Tuah character also throws a radar ability that reveals in a 360 area. I mean, the guy with a mic has to be there for that to happen.
Some Chinese dude that works in character.
Yeah.
Some Chinese dude rolls up in character development department. He's like, he's already got it all laid out. He's like, this is the Peacemaker. And they're like, that's DC. He's like, fuck.
Yeah. Damn it. She hawks your eyes for a blinding effect. Speaking of blind effect, I want Daredevil. That's a character that I would love to see added into the game.
I'd like to see
What if when you
Juggernaut.
play him, you can't see?
Juggernaut would be a great tank. I think, like, with Psylocke being able to go invisible and stuff, it would be cool if, like, when you're playing as Daredevil, you only see the outline of the cover, like, of the environment. It's like red and black, right? Everything's black.
X-ray.
Yes, kind of like that. And whenever characters make noise, you can see the characters, of course, but you can also like see traces of the character.
I think Gambit would be good.
I think Gambit would be a smart choice based on.
I think they could make him a healer even.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. You have a passive for better audio cues, or like you see audio cue behind walls. Yeah, that would be perfect for like Loki, Psylocke.
I'd like to see Rogue and Nightcrawler, but I don't know how you do them.
I think Nightcrawler would be. I think he would be easier to do. I think that, like, you have the ability, you know how the healers have the ability to like target a friendly to be able to heal them, like Mantis does?
Yeah.
You do that, but you target enemies and you just teleport to them, and then he's a melee character. And it's like let's say it's on like a 3-second cooldown or something like that. You teleport in, you do melee stuff, and then you can teleport to the next character. And that would be two of his abilities. Teleport to an enemy, teleport to a friendly.
Yeah, it resets his teleport cooldown if he gets a kill.
Yes, yeah.
That way he can teleport to the next enemy. That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah.
You'd have to balance him well, though, because that'd be...
Yeah.
He just shows up, beats the shit out of you. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Like Kariko, yeah, kind of like the way that she can teleport to her allies. Like, that would be how one of them would work. It would be cool if they took it a step further to where, and this would be complicated for controller, but it would be nice if you could do this for PC, where you can put your teammates on key bindings so that you can teleport to specific teammates. But Nightcrawler's whole thing was like he had to see where he was teleporting to, so he wouldn't teleport into a wall. So it would make sense, so it would make sense that you'd have to have a visual indicator of where you're going to be teleporting to. Yeah, teleport and get a kill. Yeah, it'll completely reset the cooldown. And like you could give him an ability like Star-Lord's ability where he like goes and does like a 360 damage attack. You could have like either his ult or one of his primary abilities be where kind of like Psylocke's ult. So anybody in an area, she like dashes to and attacks, and she's damage immune and CC immune and all that stuff. But you don't make him damage immune and CC immune. He can just teleport to different people really quickly and do like 1 or 2 attacks on them and then teleport to another one. I would love to see Nightcrawler. I think Juggernaut would be a phenomenal tank. Colossus would be a phenomenal tank. That would be super cool. The Thing, of course, Mr. Fantastic.
Johnny Storm.
Yeah. He'd be a great flyer.
Ghost Rider.
God, I would love to see Ghost Rider. Who do you want, Garbo?
No, I really would like Nightcrawler. He would have been the one I wanted.
I think Rogue would be. I think Rogue would be easy, but they kind of screwed up with Loki's ultimate ability. I think that Rogue's ability would be Loki's ultimate ability, where she can look at an ally or an enemy.
They gain their ability.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
makes sense.
You just give her fly and strength, like super strength right out of the gate, and that's like the only thing she has access to. But whenever and give her a dash where she can dash. Remember in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where she could dash in and kiss somebody, and then whenever she kissed them, she got their abilities. Do that, where she dashes in, she kisses them. You know, a little throwback to what came before, kind of like with the Venom skin, and her kit becomes identical to the kit of the person that she kisses. So if you wouldn't want to do it to Punisher because brother man ain't got no powers. You'd have to definitely do some kind of balancing thing with that. Moon Knight probably wouldn't be a great one to do that with because he doesn't in Star-Lord, but that would be an easy way. And Mystique would be, I don't know, you could kind of do that. Like Mystique could work the same way with non-hero characters. Like Rogue would be great with characters with abilities, like powers, and Mystique would work good for like Star-Lord, Punisher, Moon Knight, those types of characters. But it would be so situational, like they would be useless against certain team comps. You know what I mean?
Taskmaster.
Work could work the same way.
That's what. There's so many characters that could do the same thing in the game. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Rider would be dope.
Ghost Rider better be voiced by Nicolas Cage. I don't think they have the budget for that.
Yeah, I don't know. He's been in some pretty shitty movies.
Well, I mean, Longlegs was good.
He's been in some fantastic movies too. It's just that he's also done those low budget fucks,
Yeah. As long as the check clears, he would probably do it. I don't mind if Rogue kisses me. Rogue would not only take your power, but also take your life force away.
Cyclops would be good.
Yeah, I think Cyclops would be a great DPS.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's fucking laser beam the whole fucking time.
Yeah. Put Xavier in a chair and make him a...
No, dude, Xavier would be too powerful.
I mean, not necessarily. They have the Scarlet Witch in there.
Yeah, I mean, they do, but...
Well, they could do a different version of Professor X, like a different version of a healer, not of the character, but of the healer, where instead of healing people, kind of like Torvald or the chick from Overwatch, where she bubbles people and gives them shield. He could do that and be a support in that way. Yeah, I think Cyclops would be a great addition. But, I mean, Iceman would be a great addition.
Dude, make Xavier the healer, and then he'd have a good team up with Magneto.
Oh, yeah, right.
That'd be pretty... You could find a way to do that pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be pretty nutty. There's so many characters, though, man.
Who's that kid that becomes Penance?
I don't know what his...
From the Warriors, New Warriors. They caused the Civil War, the explosion.
Robbie Baldwin.
What's his fucking first name?
Robert?
Speedball.
Oh, yeah, Speedball, yeah.
Yeah, Speedball. That'd be interesting. DPS.
I mean, if you look at the New Mutants, there's a lot of New Mutants. Sunspot would be cool. We've already got Magic. Wolfsbane would be cool. Shatterstar would be cool. Cable. I mean, you have to put Cable in there with.
Yeah, if you
with
get
Deadpool,
Deadpool and
right?
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool if you get Cable as a tank and Cyclops as a DPS eventually. They could do some kind of father-son team up.
Yeah, yeah. I think Warlock would be a cool character. But just visually looking at this character is just so wild.
Yeah.
Rap Boy? Like Eminem? I think he's too powerful. I always like Warlock's character design. It's just so crazy. But yeah, guys, I'm excited. A lot of good stuff has come out about the game, and we're just going to get more. I mean, we're 18 days from the launch date, and we've got 6 characters we don't know about. We've got more game modes, team up abilities, the whole 9 yards. More skins. More skins. That's going to be the problem with this game, I think.
That's how much money I'm going to spend on skins.
I mean, they're going to be releasing skins like crazy, and they're going to heavily monetize the game in that way.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, yeah.
They're going to drop some dope ass skins, I'm sure.
Yeah. And we're going to get like great variation from characters that we like, different versions of characters that we like. Like, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, I'm already looking at getting that anti-venom skin.
I want that Mr. Knight skin. I think that might be my favorite one that they've released so far. What character do you want, Dirt? Who's on your dream team here?
I don't know, man. I haven't even really thought about that.
Yeah, that they're releasing a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Star-Lord skin. I think all the Guardians are getting, even Groot is getting a Guardians 3 skin.
I hope if they do put Wolverine in, they make him comic accurate and short as hell.
Cool. Well, I'm sure they'll have a skin.
Oh, Shorty?
That's because that scene in Deadpool where he hops off that stool, that's how tall Wolverine is in the comic.
Yeah. You didn't like? I thought that I like those costumes a lot. I thought that they looked good. Let's see if I can find. So this is Groot. That's what Groot looks like from Guardians 3. And then
I like that.
Here's Rockets. And
I like the matching suit.
Yeah. Star Wars was back up here.
You really couldn't see Rocket.
Nah,
Yeah.
but, I mean, you know what it is. It's all the same matching suit.
One is red leather jacket, not those blue outfits. Give him the Thriller jacket.
Thriller.
I mean, that's basically what it looked like, right? I mean, his default skin, though. Let's see.
There's just too many characters to pick from, man.
So this is the default skin. It's blue. I don't know why they didn't do a variation of this with a red jacket, but then this is his alt, Master of the Sun, which I don't really like this skin that much.
I didn't either.
It's really like Dragon Ball Z.
Even not really.
With the hair.
I get it, but no.
You think they'll put Thanos in with the gauntlet?
I think at some point that would be a cool LTM. Like
You gotta fight Thanos.
Well, you're fighting over the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
And whenever you get like the team that gets, the 6 Infinity Stones snaps, and the enemy
Kills
team,
Iron Man.
the enemy team just dissolves. And that's just the end of the game. Like that would be
Beast would be good.
Yeah. It could be a support. Because they call the supports tacticians. So I can see that they tried to do with what they tried to do with the Sun Lord outfit because from a comic, but they scuffed it while they got to massacre my favorite character. I mean, dude, they're gonna release new skins probably every week. So they'll
I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot to pull from.
They'll definitely release a lot of variations of the of Star-Lord.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would definitely like to see, Gambit, Nightcrawler. That'd be some cool ass characters. Be very unique.
Wait until they release a good skin for Peter. They'll get there. Which who knows? They may what they show us may be what's just going to be in the battle pass or something. I don't know. Black Panther looks hard. I tried to play him in the beta and it was just a lot.
I mean, you're pretty much just doing all the moves.
Yeah.
All around them. You're not, I mean, you're kind of spamming them, but you're not spamming them.
I wonder if we get a Beta Ray Bill Thor skin.
I hope. That would be my go-to Thor skin.
Yeah, it'd be the one I wore all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think somebody got a text. It's probably Garbo. He's always getting texts like he's important or something. Okay. He's always getting, I don't know.
Black Bolt would be a good character.
Yeah. They could add the dog from the Thunderbolts. I can't remember what the dog's name was, but it was massive. But all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Looking forward to it. 2 weeks from this coming Friday, we'll be on it. Me and Garbo might do a dual stream. That'd be kind of cool. Me and Garbo. Yeah, dual streaming it up. That might be fun. But yeah, I'll be back on Thursday, doing something or another. And I may make a video, a condensed version of everything, because I've been going for a little over 2 hours. I may do like a condensed 10-minute version, just kind of hitting on the highlights and my thoughts and questions, and kind of go from there with it. But yeah, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, everybody. Hope everybody has a great start to your week tomorrow. This is pre-Thanksgiving week, guys. This is pre-Thanksgiving for people in the States. Sorry, Kyle. So be sure to prepare yourself for all the delicious food. I've been mentally preparing for this. Thanksgiving already happened. When's y'all's Thanksgiving, Kyle? And do y'all do like turkey and dressing and stuff on y'all's Thanksgiving?
Where's he from?
Canada.
He's in Canada. Yeah.
They have a different Thanksgiving. I don't think they. I don't know.
They
I
do
don't
like
even know if it
Canada.
means the
Is
same
it
thing ours is
Boxing
supposed to
Day,
mean.
or-
I think Boxing Day is like their Black Friday, right?
Yeah, but that's right after Thanksgiving for them.
Oh,
Hmm.
I don't know.
I always thought Boxing Day was the day when they had to watch a bunch of boxing when I was a kid.
All right, Thanksgiving in Canada, October the 13th. Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving Day is an annual Canadian holiday held on the second Monday in October. Okay, Kyle said second Monday or something in October. All the same food: yucky turkey, ham, stuffing. What? Turkey? What? Macaroni salad, mashed potatoes, and cranberry.
Turkey's one of my favorite
He
meats.
may have had a bad turkey, dude. I mean, some
Yeah.
people dry out their
People don't
turkeys.
pass. They
You
don't
got to
know.
deep
Yeah.
fry it.
You got to brown that thing overnight, baby.
What up, Trav? How's it going, man?
Travis.
Outside the country, it may be referred to as Canadian Thanksgiving to distinguish it from the American holiday of the same name and related celebrations in other regions. Thanksgiving has been officially celebrated as an annual holiday in Canada since November the 6th, 1879. While the date varied by year and was not fixed, it was commonly the second Monday in October. On January 31st, 1957, the Governor General of Canada, Vincent Massey, issued a proclamation stating a day of general thanksgiving to Almighty God for the bountiful harvest with which Canada has been blessed, to be observed on the second Monday in October. Ham should be the main dish for Thanksgiving, not turkey.
I mean, to be fair, ham is delicious.
Yeah, we're doing all right, Trev. We've been talking about some Marvel Rivals nonsense. Now we're talking about Canada Thanksgiving. Says Thanksgiving is a statutory holiday in most of Canada and an optional holiday in the Atlantic provinces of Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland, and Labrador, Nova Scotia, and Brunswick. Companies that are regulated by the federal government, such as those in the telecommunications and banking sectors, recognize the holiday everywhere. According to some historians, the first celebration of Thanksgiving in North America occurred in 1579 after the safe landing of Martin Frobisher's fleet in Newfoundland after an unsuccessful attempt in search of the Northwest Passage. His third voyage to the Frobisher Bay area of Baffin Island in the present Canadian territory of Nunavut set out with the intention of starting a small settlement. Statutory bake. Figured I'd drop by. I appreciate you just dropping by, Trav. Yeah, we're just now I'm intrigued by this Canadian Thanksgiving. Says for many years before it was declared national holiday in 1879, Thanksgiving was celebrated in either late October or early November. From 1879 onward, Thanksgiving Day has been observed every year, the date initially being a Thursday in November. After World War I, an amendment to the Armistice Day Act established that Armistice Day and Thanksgiving would, starting in 1921, both be celebrated on a Monday of the week in which November the 11th occurred. 10 years later, in 1931, the 2 days became separate holidays. Like, how? Why have they changed it so much? It says, from 1931 to 1957, the date was set by proclamation, generally falling on the second Monday in October, except for 1935, when it was moved due to general election. In 1957, Parliament fixed Thanksgiving as the second Monday in October. The theme of the Thanksgiving holiday also changed each year to reflect an important event to be thankful for. In its early years, it was for an abundant harvest and occasionally for a special anniversary. Why? Why did they keep changing the date? Now it's got me interested in Thanksgiving in the United States. Hold on. All right, let's look at this. The modern national celebration dates to 1863 and has been linked to the Pilgrims' 1621 Harvest Festival since the late 19th century. As the name implies, the theme of the holiday generally revolves around giving thanks, to the centerpiece of most celebrations being a Thanksgiving dinner. There's a new update every year. So Canada gets a new update every year. Is that what's happening here? They get a balance patch every year. All right. Where is the history? It says Jeremy Bang says that local boosters in Virginia, Florida, and Texas promote their own colonists who, like many people getting off a boat, gave thanks for setting foot again on dry land. The codification and celebration of an annual day of Thanksgiving, according to Berkeley 100 Charter in Virginia, prompted President JFK to acknowledge the claims of both Massachusetts and Virginia to America's earliest celebrations. He issued Proclamation 3560 on November the 5th, 1963, saying, "Over 3 centuries ago, our forefathers in Virginia and in Massachusetts, far from home, in a lonely wilderness, set aside a time of thanksgiving. On the appointed day, they gave reverent thanks for their safety, for the health of their children, and the fertility of their fields, for the love which bound them together, and for the faith which united them with their God." However, according to historian James Baker, debates over where any first Thanksgiving took place on modern American territory are a tempest in a bean pot. According to Baker, the American holiday's true origin was the New England Thanksgiving, never coupled with a Sabbath meeting. The Pilgrim observances were special days set aside during the week for Thanksgiving and praise in response to God's providences. Cool thing about Canada is that nothing happens here. No tornadoes or tsunamis. And if you see any, it's fake. What do you mean? Like HARP? Y'all want to talk about HARP for a little while? The first national proclamation of Thanksgiving was given by the Continental Congress in 1777 from its temporary location in York, Pennsylvania, while the British occupied the national capital at Philadelphia. Delegate Samuel Adams created the first draft. Congress then adopted the final version. George Washington proclaimed a Thanksgiving in December 1777 as a victory celebration honoring the defeat of the British at Saratoga. There's a lot of information here. I mean, that was just the Revolutionary War. Now we're getting into the Civil War. I thought Canada's was convoluted, but good God. Post-Civil War era. Thanksgiving? Hold on. Abraham Lincoln's successors as president followed his example of annually declaring the final Thursday in November to be Thanksgiving. But in 1939, President Franklin D. Roosevelt broke with this tradition. November had 5 Thursdays that year instead of the more common 4. Roosevelt declared the 4th Thursday as Thanksgiving rather than the 5th one. Although many popular histories state otherwise, he made clear that his plan was to establish the holiday on the next to last Thursday in the month instead of the last one. With the country still in the midst of the Great Depression, Roosevelt thought an earlier Thanksgiving would give merchants a longer period to sell goods before Christmas, increasing profits and spending during this period. Roosevelt hoped would help bring the country out of the Depression. At the time, advertising goods for Christmas before Thanksgiving was considered inappropriate. Fred Lazarus Jr., founder of the Federated Department Stores, which later went on to be Macy's, is credited with convincing Roosevelt to push Thanksgiving to a week earlier to expand the shopping season. And within 2 years, the change passed through Congress into law. Republicans decreed the change, calling it an affront to the memory of Lincoln. People began referring to November 30th as the Republican Thanksgiving and November the 23rd as the Democratic Thanksgiving or Franksgiving. Wow. are we going to go to Republican Thanksgiving this year or Democratic Thanksgiving this year? You know what I'm saying? Like, could you imagine if it was still like that?
I feel like you could start a channel where you just learn history.
And just talk about it?
Yeah, dude, because history's wild when you get into some of that shit.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever heard about the eggnog riots of, what's that fucking West Point? There was eggnog riots in the 1800s. It was pre-Civil War. They would allow the cadets to drink alcohol only on 2 days of the year, and that was on 4th of July and on Christmas. And one year it had gotten too rowdy, so they banned it. But they knew that they were still going to try to sneak it in, like the first year that it was banned, so they were going to allow it to happen. The kids go upstairs and they're drinking on their own. They're drinking eggnog, whiskey and eggnog mixed together, you know, for Christmas. And it ends up devolving into them trying to kill their sergeants and take over the academy.
Jesus.
Drunkenly.
It's all right. The eggnog riot, sometimes known as the grog mutiny. They have a full timeline on here.
Yeah.
It says at Martin's, this was at December the 22nd, 1826, from 2050 to 2215. At Martin's Tavern, cadets William R. Burnley from Alabama, Alexander J. Center from New York, and Samuel Alexander Roberts from Alabama almost got into a fight with the proprietors of another tavern concerning getting whiskey back to West Point. Private James Dugan, the duty security guard, agreed to let the three cadets take a boat across the Hudson to smuggle the whiskey. The cadets planned to purchase a half-gallon of whiskey as an alcohol base for the eggnog party that would take place in the North Barracks 2 nights later. Philip St. George from Virginia was the 24-hour duty cadet guard of the day. Burnley, Center, and Roberts successfully obtained 2 gallons of whiskey, smuggling them into North Barracks room number 33. Cadet T.M. Lewis from Kentucky also returned with a gallon of rum from Benny's Tavern to North Barracks room number 5. Why is this not a movie?
Yeah, 3 gallons of alcohol they're going to put in this eggnog.
On December the 23rd, 1826, at 7 a.m., Thayer met with George Bomford and Robert E. Lee. Bomford was questioned about his parental correspondence by Thayer, while Lee requested Thayer about trigonometry problems for artillery gunnery. Classes and barracks inspections continued as usual that day. Like, there's a full breakdown of everything. It goes from December the 23rd, 1826 to March the 9th through May the 3rd of 1827. Holy God.
Yeah.
This is wild.
The initial ride itself was one drunken night. And then a bunch of stuff branched off of that where cadets were getting in trouble and all this different stuff.
This is crazy.
Robert E. Lee was there. He was one of the cadets, and so was Jefferson Davis, the future president of the Confederate States of America.
Yeah. It says Davis was among the 70 cadets who took part in the eggnog riot of 24-25 December 1826. That's crazy. Well, that's what you get when you bring a bunch of good old boys to New York. All right, we got to get whiskey. We got to get eggnog going.
At one point, they're actively hunting down one of their instructors.
I've never got so drunk that I wanted to like take people out.
No, dude.
You know what I mean? Like,
what it was he was saying to get I can't remember the exact thing about it. He was saying to go get somebody, but they thought he was talking about the artillery gunners that are also on that base.
yeah.
And the artillery gunners and the cadets had like a rivalry going on where they've been talking shit for years. So they thought that they were going to have the artillery gunners come in there and quell the riots. So they were like, fuck that. We're going to get some guns. We're going to kill that guy that said that.
This needs to be a movie.
It'd be a great movie. It really would.
Says the
Because there
riot.
is a moment where Jefferson Davis is made to look like a bitch.
Yeah.
Where he goes in there and he pretty much he's like, I need everyone's names, and Jefferson Davis is like, okay, here's everyone's names.
Says the riot eventually involved more than 1/3 of the cadets by the time it ceased on Christmas morning. The subsequent investigation by Academy officials resulted in the implication of 70 cadets and court-martialing of 20 of them, along with one enlisted soldier. Among the participants in the riot, though he was not court-martialed, was future Confederate State President Jefferson Davis. That's crazy. They even got a drawing of the tavern owner, Benny Havens.
Yeah, well, the whole thing about him having that tavern where he had it was a straight up fuck you to West Point, because there was a whole thing about property rights and stuff. So he went and bought property near there, and was like, I'm gonna fuck with y'all by allowing your cadets to drink with us, even though you asked us not to.
Yeah, this needs to be a movie. We could write it.
Good.
All right, guys, I'm bouncing out of here. I hope everybody has a great one. I'll be back on Thursday. We'll be doing the thing and stuff. Everybody take care out there. Be safe. And I'll catch you guys on the flippity floppity. Later, guys.